Hi, I'm Hannah Sokup, the Oral History Curator at the University of Montana's Archives and Special Collections. And today I'm going to show you how to search for archival collection finding aids. And so if you have visited our Primary Sources Research Guide, you know that a finding aid is how you navigate and find things in an archival collection in order to determine what boxes and folders you might want to look at as they relate to your research topic. And so the guides to the collections or finding aids are available on ArchivesWest, and that URL is archiveswest.orbiscascade.org. And this is one of two videos that I'll be doing to show you how to search for and navigate finding aids. So once you're on the ArchivesWest homepage, it's easiest, rather than clicking search here, to go down here and select your repository first, because if I type in search terms here and click search, then I'm going to get finding aids from all of the institutions represented on this map. And so if I go to Missoula and then the University of Montana Mansfield Library Archives and Special Collections, then I can search for the guides to collections that we hold here, as opposed to guides to collections that are held all over the Northwest. So once you get here, you'll see that there are 861 guides to processed collections here in Archives and Special Collections. And so, for instance, if you were going to look for things related to mining and garnet, you could type in garnet and then click here. You don't want to type up here, because if you type up in this search box, then it's going to revert back to searching for finding aids in all of the repositories that have guides on ArchivesWest. So you want to make sure you're typing in your search terms here if you have refined your search by repository. And then click this little caret. And you'll see that we have a number of collections related to garnet. And you'll see a brief description right here. So that kind of gives you an idea right away. Is this something I want to really look at, or is this not related to my research topic at all? If you're looking for information about garnet prior to 1912, you probably don't want to even bother looking at this finding aid. This is a finding aid for an oral history project that was done by the Garnet Preservation Association. And these are mining records. And then you also have other individuals' collections that may reference garnet in some way. So the Davy ledgers consist of a Garnet Montana grocery store accounts receivable ledger. So let's go up to this Garnet Montana mining records collection. And you can access the actual finding aid by clicking on the title. And so the information right here at the top is really important. So you've got the title and you've got the dates. These are the dates of the material. If you see a person's name here, that's not their birth and death dates. These are the dates of the material in the collection. So we have material that is dated 1884 all the way to 1964. You'll also see that there is one partial reel of microfilm. That is what the collection consists of. It doesn't consist of photos, at least not physical photos. It doesn't consist of newspaper clippings. It doesn't consist of artifacts. It's a partial reel of microfilm, likely documents that were microfilmed. And then right here you'll see a collection number. This is like a call number for a book. This is it when you come into the archives and you want to look at a collection in person. This is the number you use when you come to the reference desk and say, I want to look at the garnet mining records. If you have this collection number, it's really helpful. We can still help you if you don't have the collection number, but it just speeds up the process a little bit for you. Then you'll see a summary. This is the same summary you read on the page before you clicked on the title of the collection. You'll see the repository. This is also important because just in case you didn't refine your search by repository first, you may accidentally stumble upon a collection that you think, wow, this looks really great, but then you find out, oh, it's actually available at Montana State University or the Historical Society in Helena or at an Oregon or Washington institution. So just always double check the repository to make sure that the collection is where you think it is, because you don't want to show up to that archives, especially if you have to travel from out of town, and find out they actually don't hold this collection, it's held by someone else. The access restrictions are also important because this is going to let you know whether or not parts of the collection are restricted. Sometimes donors will restrict parts of a collection for a certain period of time, and sometimes an archivist will actually impose a restriction because they think that there are contents that shouldn't be made available for one reason or another. So just double check this. And if it says this statement, must use the collection in accordance with the policies, you should be able to look at any part of this collection. But if there's also a statement after that that says Series 8 is closed or Box 5 is restricted, then you know that that part of the collection you can't access and you need to contact the archivist for more information. Here's a historical note. And so the historical note just gives you a brief history of garnet as it relates to what the material that is in the collection. So you're not seeing any history about specific townspeople or members of the community. You are seeing a general overview of the history of garnet during the late 1800s and early 1900s. Then you've got a content description, and the content description is really useful because it's going to give you more information than the summary, and it's going to give you a better sense of what's in the collection. So this is a very small collection, but if it were hundreds of boxes, before you start scrolling through the box and folder list, you'd want to take a look at the content description to see what it contains. If you're looking for photographs, you'll see from reading this content description, there are no photographs. So you'd want to go back and move on to the next finding aid that might have something related to your research topic and the types of materials you're looking for. And so because it's only one reel of microfilm, there's no box and folder list. So the second video that I'll walk you through how to look at a finding aid that has a lot more material in it and has a box and folder list. But if you take the time to look at this top level information that's available in any finding aid, it will save you a lot of time when you're doing research because you can automatically eliminate anything that's not related by just looking at this top bit of information, this summary, the repository, the historical note, and content description. So before you start scanning finding aids, take a look at that top level information, and then you can narrow it down and go, oh, I don't even need to look at 3 of the 8 finding aids because they don't have any materials that are related to my research topic.